Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to my channel. We are back to do part, I believe it's 4. I had left a question on my last video about doing the tree. This is my little paper that I have that I'm sticking behind the pages here. I'm going to probably need 2 of them. That paper is for when I'm pressing hard, that the ink doesn't transfer from this page to the other page. I've been asked a question, and I was supposed to do this on part 3 and I forgot. So I'm very sorry. When you're coloring on this, if your color goes through the pages, and this is the back side of the page, you cannot see the color except for right down here where I actually colored a little bit of the brown going down the page, and it got a little on there. But that is the back side of that page, and here's the back side of this page, and no, you cannot see the color through it. I mean, if you held it up to the light, you might be able to see the coloring, but that's the page, and because I keep a piece of paper in here, it's not transferring this ink over here. It did a little tiny bit when I did here, but you can just take a eraser, and if you can see that, now it's gone. So it's a light erasing, it's not even a heavy erasing that you do. So basically, that is it. Keep the paper back there, so if you're pressing hard, it won't transfer the ink that's on the pages. So we are going to do this tree. I started it on part 3, just adding in a light coloring that went on some light areas where the light is going to hit here, kind of where other lanterns are and that such, and just kind of the top end of all the branches that will look pleasing when you're looking at the page. We got to keep in mind there is really no light source because there's a canopy of a tree coming this way. We are in the tree, we're not on the ground, so all you're going to see is a sky kind of background in here. We've got leaves coming up. They are attached to this branch down here because we are making it a branch in my head. So we're up on top of the tree, so we have a place for these nice little fairy houses to be without hitting the ground. So all I did, like I said, was go through, and I think this one is tan, and I put tan down on all the light areas I wanted on the branches. And then I went in with just I don't know, a couple of colors. I have them all still on my desk, which isn't an ideal thing, but I need to know what colors I use so I can put them in the description box. So this one is just a light brown, and I probably just went in with a light brown and darkened some areas. And this is all I'm going to be doing on the tree. That's one of the reasons I asked if you really wanted to see it. So the brown colors that I used in the house, I'm just going to be using in the tree. Now I'm going to have to apologize for my voice if I sound a little funny. We had a windstorm last night. I have asthma, and the windstorm brought in all the smoke from the fires from the eastern Washington, brought them over here, along with some of the cities around our area also had some brush fires. So all that smoke got just pushed right into our neck of the woods here. You could barely see outside, which is very bad for someone who has asthma. So don't open the doors, don't open the windows, but you're still going to get some of that smoke that comes in if you have like a little, like it would get into the garage, and if you came in through the garage, you get a little bit of it, and then it just causes problems. So I'll be drinking some tea while I'm doing this, and this will probably just be the tree because docking is not going to be a good thing for me today. Trying to find the colors. I don't think I want mahogany in there. I've got black. So I have all the pencils still on my desk from when I first started coloring this page. And it's just a mess. Okay. I have to leave it that way until I'm done with the page, though. My cat will get up and start throwing around the pencils. We have maize. We have rust, which I am going to use in the tree. We have black, light brown, dark brown, the tan, and the daisy yellow. Those are the colors I used in these acorns. So I'm going to mimic those, bring them over here. The reason I did the chipmunks with a different pencil was so I would have a different brown from the tree and the acorns. The little chipmunkies are on the tree, and I didn't want them to look like the tree. I'm going to put it that way. So I brought in different pencils and different browns for that. So we're just going to go with these colors and mix them all in the tree. I guess I will start on this side because there's only a couple of branches on the other side. So I'm going to lower the camera and then we will get coloring. Okay, we're going to go in with the light brown since I have kind of a base coat here of the tan. And we're just going to kind of darken the knot of the tree. And some areas here. We'll get that leaf brought into the tree here. Can you see up that high? I'm not sure what we can see. We're going to darken this area, bring it out. And then like under these little fungi we've got growing on, we're going to darken them under here. Okay, then kind of in these areas I want the center a little darker. And like I said, I'm going to bring this brown all the way down into this area. I'll probably put a black line through there. And then all this will be tree too. And we went in with a little black in here and darkened it up. We'll be bringing some black in here too, just to darken it. So we're just going to go and darken some areas, and we'll leave some light. Can you see that? Sorry, it's a big page, but I wanted to get the camera down so you could see. What I'm doing here. And we have a shadow under him. I even thought about putting a branch in here. Don't know what he's doing there. Looks like he should hold on to something. Okay, and just remember this is rough to start with. We'll be blending this in a little better as we go. We're going to put a lot of layers on this. Want to dark under where he is, his shadow just touching the tree. And we'll just take this across here. This branch here is going to be darker because it's behind. Making this branch a little darker here too. And then it kind of goes across. Just because I have this pencil in my hand, I want to go across here. And down through there. Okay. Back to this side. Okay, I'm going to switch to take in some rust. Kind of give it a little more redness in some areas. Don't want to add too much in, but you want to put it in there because everything else has got it. And you layer on top of it and make really pretty colors. I have none of this planned out in my head when I do this, by the way. It's just like I think this might need a little of this color, this might need a little of that. This branch should continue over here. So I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to take a little black. Put that line in, and we're going to do that while I have the black down here. Bring that branch right down over there. And then, like down in here where we have this swirl and there's nothing in here, we're just going to add another couple lines. Just so it looks like it's got something there. Okay, what color was I using? Rust. Do I need a little more rust in here? Add a little up here. Okay. Next color is going to be the dark brown. We really want to darken the center of that knot. And just kind of darken some areas coming out. So here I'm pushing a little harder than I would in other areas, because I really want that to be dark and show up dark. Down here. Okay, a little on this. Going up. And we've got 3 colors underneath his paw already. I think that looks nice. Forgot, where's that black? Black, where are you? There's no line here either. I'm going to stick one in there. And we can just bring these lines down a little further. Just have them connect down there. Okay, up in here. Pull those lines down. Okay, up here, in the center of this one. And over there. A little more darkness here. So I want that one to look like it's behind this branch. Okay, we're going to go back in now with the light brown. Oh, you're going to see that? Kind of go over this darker branch. Make sure it stays dark back there. Bring that up into there. We're going to go down this side of the tree, all in this brown. Down on this side. Between the leaves. Anywhere we have the dark brown, we're going to go around these areas. And the new places that I just put lines. And we are using a pressure on this. This area is going to be tricky because it's right on the edge. I don't think we put any rust in here, and I want to get it under his feet too. A little bit of the dark brown. And then the light brown. Okay. I'm gonna go back up this area. Okay, let's see. I'm going to bring in the maize, add a little bit more kind of a yellow tone in here. I can already tell I'm going to be using an eraser in some of these areas. So don't be surprised when that comes out. Still don't know what these berries are, so. Tree's going to come all the way down to this corner, so be careful when you're doing that. And we're just going to go in lightly in here. And in here. I didn't make any extra lines in here, and I probably should. So we'll go in with the dark brown. We'll just add another line here. Probably one about here. I don't know. Am I letting you see this or not? I want area in here, so I'm just adding some lines. That would come down right about there. And then I'll color them in. And color this in dark down here too. Bring that up. And I forgot to darken this knot, so we're going to darken that. Put a dark color in this corner. If you can see the corner, this is not the easy spot. It's a teeny tiny little corner. And you just have to be real careful with it. Okay. Let's go darken in here a bit. Gonna add a lighter color in there. Just kind of pushing pressure down on there and following the lines that go up, or the ones I put in. Put it that way. This is still the dark brown. Okay, and then a couple of dark ones up here. And then we'll go back in with the maize. Nope. What are we going to go back in with? We'll go in with the tan. Some of that yellow highlights in there again. Okay. Before we get everything wicking all over my desk here, I'm going to bring in my eraser. And in some of these spots, I'm just going to pull in a little highlight. Now when you're doing this, you have to kind of use a blank piece of paper here. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll do it in this area here to get the color off, because you're taking a lot off on this teeny tiny little eraser. and you need to clean it so you're not smearing in a bunch of the colored pencil. So you want to highlight some areas just so they show up a little bit more. Say if you've got a line in there you don't like, you can smear it out a little bit. And it just brings out enough of the color there just to highlight the areas that you like. Okay, then you can bring in a lighter color, and on the rough edges of the erasing part, just bring in a light color and blend it in. So it doesn't look as rough. I think that's his whisker. This is the daisy yellow. Don't know if I mentioned that. This needs a lot more shading down there. But it just gives you a little more room to play around with the colors, because you can erase any color in there and it'll give it the highlight of the color that you already put down. So like if you put down the rust and then you use the eraser on it, you still have a little bit of that rust color there, but it's a lot lighter. So in wood graining, you can just get enough of that pulled up, but still make it look like it's just a lighter color of the, what, 5, 6, 8 colors we're using already. And I just think this is a fun thing to do. I know some people think that the eraser kind of sounds like a dentist drill, which I agree, it does. And it probably doesn't sound great when you have got your volume up pretty loud, and or you're wearing a mic and it's right next to it. But it gives a really nice effect. I'm going to darken just this area here and then pull it out. Maybe include a little divot line in there. This kind of helps me out instead of having to bring in a stark white on woodwork. Because sometimes white just looks a little funny, especially if you bring in like the Prisma white, and I wanted this white, and you can get a bit of a chalkier line in there, but white isn't really found in the tree, so you have to go over it anyway. So if I do it with the eraser, it works out really well. Okay, so we have this so far. All right, then we're going to go in with a, can you read that? Caran dash. It's called a full blender. It looks like this, except for mine is broken, the little pieces, so it's easier for me to handle. And you can just go around very softly, go with the grain of your wood and pull those colors in a bit. And that will help you bring in any of those colors that you've laid down and you didn't do great pencil work. Like me, who will go off in one line and then not in the other line. And it'll help blend it all together. And then you can go back in if you want and darken some areas again and lighten some areas. A tree takes time if you want it to look like mine end up looking. So I'm going to get this a lot darker. I might even bring in some Distress ink here. So down here we're just running this across here. Okay. Still have to get to the other side of the page here. All right. I want to bring in the dark brown again. And we're just going to go over some of these areas. I thought I had a chocolate out here. I have to find that too, because that's a nice pretty color. I just don't see it. So hold on. All right, I'm just going to bring in some of the Lightfast. I found the autumn brown and the chocolate. I can't find the chocolate in my other one, in the Sargent art, so I want to add some chocolate in here. So we're going to mix the Lightfast in, which will bring in some color from our little chipmunks. Okay, we're going to bring in that autumn brown too. Sorry, trying to get that blended in nicely. Oh, my pencil's thumping on my desk. Sorry about that too. Okay, I'm just going around. Clunk, 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 clunk. Thought about getting one of those big giant mouse pad things to put on my desk so the pencils wouldn't make so much noise. But then I thought if I was coloring on it, I'd have to put something down because they're soft. So you sit there and debate about, well, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Okay, I'm going to just use my finger here and smush all those colors together. There we go. I think that's looking pretty good. This is still the autumn brown. Okay. Tree going over to the side. I'm going to go to the branch over on this side here. And we'll bring in the chocolate. Then we'll bring in the maize and go back over that. Maize is a Sargent art. I've got a sticky notepad sticking there. That's a silly thing to have. Okay. There was one spot I saw I wanted to get darker. Now it's around this mushroom here. Just so that'll stand out a little bit. And that's just with the autumn brown coming in. A little hard to get it in the crick of the book. I may still tweak this a little bit. Let's see what other color I have over here. This darker brown area. We have a Dyke Brown. Not quite sure what that color is here, if it'll even show up. Ah, broke it. I knew I would. Graphitins are not meant to be used with a sharp point and hard pressure. And since I put it in down there, I have to kind of add it here and there on the tree branch. So. And then we'll bring in a little black. Where do I have black? I don't know anymore. Black. I want this darkest. So we're just going to bring a little black under there. And up here. So make sure it sets it down there. Add a little black on the center of all our knots. On any of these that we drew in here, we want darker. And this is pretty firm pressure. Okay. Now I'll lift you up so you can see what we've done. It took I don't know how long, but that is our tree for the most part. Now I know that we have to add a little more to the little guys over here. This is the daisy yellow. But for the most part, that looks really good. So, oh, I didn't do this little branch down here. It's just more of adding the same colors in. This is Maize. A little of the daisy yellow. I think we have some acorns or branches, leaves down in there. Figure those out. We'll want to throw in a little bit of the autumn brown in there too. I like that color, it's pretty. Anyway, like I said, you could play with this forever, just to get your colors in the way you want them to be. How dark you want it, how light you want it. And then you have to remember that you don't have to do it perfect. You just got to stop at some point. And then if you, like I said, got anything too dark that you don't like, just go back and highlight it with the eraser. Anywhere you like. I just think that adds a little bit to it, and I like doing it, so you just go through and add a couple of highlights. Just go through with your lightest color and color over it. And poof, you're done. So I think I'm going to check out and see how long this is and see if we can do the background. So you'll have to hold on a moment. Okay, so I've decided we will go ahead and do the inking. I'm going to start off with some squeezed lemonade, which is going to be, well, a bright yellow. I've got to find a yellow ink pad. Which I should have gotten out a lot sooner. Let's see. Well, I have one of these little makeup spongy thingies, so that'll work for the lemonade. We're just gonna rub it on here, make sure we get yellow, not green. Okay, we're just going to go around the lanterns. We've got one there, we've got one here. So we're gonna make it nice and glowy. And if we want to, we can add it into the windows. I think that would be a good idea. Do we have a light over here? I don't think we have a light over there. Okay. And we can bring some of that over here just by putting it in this grass. Maybe a little over here on the side. Just so there's a little of it on both sides. Okay. And hold on a moment. Sorry about that. We can bring in a little scattered straw. Since we're still using yellow on this, we'll get off some of that bright yellow. And just add a little of that in there also. It's a golder yellow. And throw some of that over here too. Still have to do those berries. Darn it. I do those before I ink. I don't know what they are. We're going to make them autumn colored berries, so we'll get some rust, some burnt orange, and some mahogany. So we'll throw mahogany on one side over here. And we'll go over and do these little berries that are on the other side. Go in with the rust. And go in with the burnt orange. And then we'll go in with a little bit of the daisy yellow. And make them kind of, those kind of berries, just so they have some color. Okay, anything else? These, I don't know what these are either. I guess I could do them the same way. So we'll do them with the mahogany. You could do these with stickles, or do each one different if you want. I'm just going to do them all the same. Go in with the rust next. Do these in gold, you could do them in brown, you could do them in anything. I really had no plans for them, so you could leave them white too. They'd look cute as little pearls. The orange, burnt orange. And then we'll go in with a brighter orange on, or yellow on this. So this is just yellow. brown on those if you want, just to give it a little darker side under here. This is the Lightfast Autumn Brown. Okay, now we're going to do the background. So we have our yellow lights showing here, and I was going to work in between a couple of blues. So we have Broken China and Stormy Sky. Broken China is a nice bright light blue, and Stormy Skies is a really dark blue, and I have to see if I even want to use that one. So we're going to put it on the pad. Make sure we have the right color. Maybe I switch pads here. Okay. So that just looks too bright for this page to me. I gotta put it in here anyway. So we're gonna just start. If I darken it, I darken it. I'm gonna put it on 1/2 of the pad. Try to get the cat hair out of it. And then I'm just going to lightly set it down on the page. So I'm going to get about that much ink, very light dabbing in here. Really light around the street light. I didn't do this bow either. Oh boy. Here we go. Bow. What color am I using? Mahogany. And a burnt orange. Bright yellow. Okay, back with the blue. And because I've decided that we're up in a tree, I'm not going to really fade too much of a different color down here. But I'm going to leave it lighter. There we go. Okay. Now, if you're wondering, it should not really go on the leaves because of the wax that's in the pencil. So we gotta go on the other side now. Try to get it in the crease there. And if you miss something, well, you can color it in green later. Do have Posca on these guys, so you have to be careful or you're going to turn them blue. And Again, we're just lightly doing this. We're not pushing down too much on the ink pad at all, or the ink thingy bopper tool. Yep, we got blue feet. Sorry. We want to get that out as quick as possible before it dries. If I could find my eraser. There we go. He got white feet again. Then we'll go back over his feet with the color that we had colored him in on. We have to be a little careful here because I colored up his tail. So when I put it on here, it'll be on white paint. And I don't want it to show up a whole gob that it's a whole different thing. So we're going to have to kind of manipulate that a little bit to make it look so it's not a green or yellow. So I may end up making that a little darker or adding another color on it. Depends on what I do up here, if I'm going to make this darker or not. I'm going to watch his tail too, because he's got Posca on his tail. Okay, so if we put another coat on, it'll get darker. If we press harder, it'll get darker. I kind of want it darker on the edges and lighter towards the center. So we're just going to go over this with another coat, light coat, not dark, not pushing too hard. And we're kind of going to make it splotchy. Come on. Yep. Page. We're going to throw in some stormy sky too. Let me get this as light as I want it down here. Oh, loud car going by. Okay. Same ink pad, just going to go into the darker color. And this is the color we're using. This is the color that we're going to put in. Okay. So we're going to do this, we're not going to blend it in, we're just going to patch it in. So we'll put a little darkness there, maybe some up here around the houses. Up in this area. Maybe just under that leaf. So I'm using this darker ink to kind of shadow or shade in some areas. Okay. Same as when you're doing it with pencil. Maybe a little darker up here. Just play with it until you like it. Then I'm probably getting it all over every other page here too. Did not put in the paper back here. Bad me. There. Okay, we'll put a little corner down here, darken that up a bit more. Maybe under his feet. And if we get him blue, we'll just erase that too. Okay. I like that darker blue in there. Okay. I'm going to see how well this takes water. Get a rag. Just splatter it up a little bit. And then wipe it up. We'll try to do it pretty good in this center so they blend a little better. I don't know how well this is going to come up, but we want to try it a little here. Okay. Make sure all that's dry. And get the eraser. Do his feet again. This one's feet. And go back in with a, still feels wet there for some reason. I thought I dried it up good. Go in with a white color. I'm going to use the Prisma white on this little foot. See if we can't get a little whiter here. There we go. We're going to let this dry. I may put a little white splatter in it. You've seen me do that before. I just take a paintbrush. This one here, I use a little matte white acrylic paint, put it on a plastic sheet, and then just tap the white on. And it gives a cute little effect, so it could have a little starry effect here. And I think that splatter did a little something there, so that's kind of cool. And then what I will do is leave a picture for you at the end of the video, how it ends up with the little white splatters on it. But I'm calling it done, other than the fact that I'm going to put white splatters, and it has to dry because I put a lot of water on it. So, end of video, you'll see the finished product. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Bye now. Oh, if you're curious, Distress ink does not drink or seep through the back of the page either. You are going to have a little wrinkle here from the water. It'll dry pretty good. There we go. Don't know if you have any more questions. If you do, leave them in the description box or the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye now.